Hello, and welcome to Skedlive for Monday, March 17th. I'm your host, Alex Poor. Here are your stories for today. Police services are looking at ways to improve interactions between the police and people on the street. Skedline reporter Joanita Sengupta has more. Volunteers from Cycle TO rallied people to shovel a lane along Bloor Street West at Shaw Street after last night's big snowfall. Stephanie DiPetrillo reports. Now over to
The City of Toronto plowed a
Toy-
lot of snow this winter, but cycling activists say bike lanes have been largely ignored. Cycle TO members took matters into their own hands on March 12th, got together at Shaw and Bloor to clear the snow from the bike paths. Volunteers say that year after year, the city fails to remove snow from crucial bike lanes in the city.
We've got tens of thousands of cyclists here in the city, in the downtown core, that are biking every day to work. But in the wintertime, 90% of them stop riding. And one of the big reasons why they stop is that there's not proper maintenance of bike infrastructure.
The snow was transported by bicycle to Christie Pitts, a park nearby. Volunteers say the city should step up and clear the bike paths, since cyclists are taxpayers too.
Sort of the city is kind of using the bike lanes as snow storage. So we're taking an opportunity to free up the bike lane and make the street a little safer.
The next day, city trucks were seen removing the leftover snow from the streets, showing their activism has not gone unnoticed. Stephanie DiPetrillo for Skedline.
Now over to Antonia Savoya and Angelica Sidney with sports.
Thanks. College basketball's biggest event starts this week, March Madness. 68 teams will be participating this year.
The number one seeds for this year's tournament in the South Conference is Florida's Gators. They are the Associated Press's number one ranked team. The Arizona Wildcats are the number one seed in the Western Conference and one of the top teams in America, and universally chosen to make it through to the Final Four.
That's correct. The Eastern Conference, the Virginia Cavaliers are the most unexpected number one seed to make it through. Wichita State Shockers are the number one seed in the Midwest Conference, having an undefeated season, going and winning 34 games in a row with no losses. So now, Antonio, let's talk about the Final Four brackets. Who do you think might be going through?
Florida and Arizona are for sure, I think. It's sad because Kansas are in Florida's division. They're a great team, but I don't think they'll be able to beat Florida at this time. Virginia, I don't see going. I think Michigan State will beat them, and Wichita is bound to lose. So I could see Louisville pulling it off there.
Well, according to Nate Silver, he does state that Louisville might be pulling through. I think that they might make it and they might win another championship. Kevin Weir is actually back and he's up and ready to go after the fact that from his, horrific leg injury that he had. But I think that, and according to Nate Silver, that Louisville is definitely going to make it through.
Yeah, I do believe Louisville can, but I just feel the Gators are too good of a team. I mean, Florida has played fantastic, and it looks like they're probably going to pull off another win.
Well, there's a lot of bracket busters,
Yeah,
and the
that's for
NCAA tournament is known for, some teams that, haven't been doing very well, but they might pull through too. So we never know. So now there's a lot of Canadian prospects that are currently in the NCAA tournament. So let's talk about Andrew Wiggins. He's scoring 17.4 points per game. And there's a lot of talks about Wiggins going pro. What do you think?
I think he will. He knows he's going to be number one pick. It'll be a shock if he goes any lower. It's hard for Kansas, but he should be going for sure to the NBA next year.
Definitely. Well, there's also talks of Milwaukee. There's also the LA Lakers. But you did state that it's all because of a draft and whoever picks.
Yeah, it's a lottery. The NBA chooses their number one pick by lottery. So anyone that misses the playoffs will get a chance at the lottery. A few years ago, Chicago finished 9th, which is not far out of the playoffs, and they got the first pick and drafted Derrick Rose. So, anyone can get it. If you miss the playoffs, you have a chance. So, he could be going anywhere, but most likely it'll be Milwaukee, I feel.
So let's just talk about some of the Brandon natives. There's Tyler and Dylan Ennis, right?
Yeah, Tyler Ennis plays for Syracuse Orange, averaging about 12.7 points per game with 5.6 assists also. While his brother plays for Villanova, not as great, 5.4 points per game, but still, it's good enough. On December 28th, they both played each other, and the Syracuse Orange won, so Tyler got the upper hand on that one. And
now we have to talk about Mississauga native Nick Staukis, and he's another one to watch out for. He plays for the Michigan Wolverines, averaging around 17.5 points a game. But when he gets behind the three line and he gets a momentum, that's definitely something that teams have to look up for, and especially defend him, because he's really hot behind the three-point line.
Yeah, no, we saw that last year in the final against Louisville. He shot a few good threes that made a difference, and he was not the reason why they lost. They got beat by a good team, and he's out here probably to try to win another one.
Exactly.
And check out skedline.com next week for who's going forward and who's not going to be playing anymore. Back to the studio.
And now to Vicki Williston with the weather.
Thank you. Today will be partly cloudy with a chance of light flurries with a high of -4 and a low of -14. Tuesday will be mainly sunny with a high of 2 and a low of -7. Wednesday will be the warmest day this week with a high of 7 and a low of 0 with light rain throughout the day. On Thursday, the first day of spring, will bring lots of cloud coverage and a high of 2 and a low of -1. Friday will be partly cloudy with a high of 3 and a low of -4. And on Saturday, we'll see snow again with roughly 2 to 4 centimeters. The temperatures will stay a bit warmer with a high of 2 and a low of -4. That's all for your weather today. I'm Victoria Williston. Now back to the studio.
I'm Alex Bohr for Skedlive.